Sylvia, who has spent the night with another man, looks out the window at the street. After the man leaves, a friend picks her up. As she gets into the car, she notices that a strange man is staring at her intently, but Sylvia pays no attention to him. She returns to her workplace and it turns out that the man she spent the night with is her co-worker. While serving guests, her eyes cross with the businessman. After work, the businessman offers to spend time together. This is how they end up at the businessman's apartment. The next day at work, John shows jealousy. However, Sylvia says that it is none of his business, as there is nothing between them. During their conversation, it turns out that John has a wife. Today, a businessman has come for her again. This again makes John feel jealous and he sets off in pursuit of them. After spotting his car, the businessman stops and the men fight. Eventually the businessman drives off alone and the stranger watches her from the side. He offers to drive her home as it is raining outside. Sylvia agrees, plus she plans to spend the night with him. So she invites him into the house and undresses in front of him, but the man, to her surprise, refuses. The action then moves back in time to New Jersey. Santiago, along with his brother, attends their father's funeral. And their mother Anna never forgave her husband. It turns out that he died when he was with his mistress in the trailer. On the day of the tragedy, their father Nick was meeting his mistress Gina in the trailer, but the trailer exploded due to a gas pipe. After the ceremony, Gina's husband Robert begins to blame their father for his wife's death. Santiago tries to ignore his words, as he is not in charge of his father's affairs. However, he notices Robert's daughter Mariana. He meets her in a store and tells her that he wants to find out what kind of person her mother was. Mariana agrees and they agree to meet the next day. At home, she reminisces about her mother. It turns out that she knew her mother was cheating on her husband even before the tragedy. The next day they meet at the appointed place, and Mariana learns from him how to shoot a slingshot. When Sylvia tells her that his father taught him that, Mariana asks how he feels about his father. Santiago admits that he loved his father very much and still does. A few years pass and Santiago, now an adult, flies his airplane to spray pesticides over the farm. Meanwhile, his daughter Maria was cooking in the kitchen. Suddenly, Santiago's plane crashes into a field in front of his daughter. Fortunately, the man survived and was taken to the hospital. Santiago turns to his friend Carlos. It turns out he has been following Sylvia at Santiago's request. He asks him to introduce Maria to her mother Sylvia. Maria does not remember her mother, as she abandoned her after she was born. Therefore, Maria does not want to meet her. However, when Carlos explains that it is his father's wish, she has no choice but to agree. Mariana, who suspects her mother of cheating, decides to follow her. Seeing her in the trailer with another man, she becomes furious. In the present, Carlos asks to hear her out, calling her Mariana. The woman looks at him in disbelief, then Carlos shows her a picture of her daughter Maria. However, she declares that it is not her daughter and leaves. When she returns home, she reminisces about her teenage years. Santiago and Mariana become very close to each other during their time together. They decide to leave each other scars so that they will never forget each other. So they both take turns burning their hands with lighters. Afterwards, they go back to Mariana's house as her father is not in the house right now. They both feel very awkward, but eventually they give in to their feelings and start kissing. At this point, Mariana feels strange. She is afraid to face her daughter because she doesn't know how to answer her questions. She decides to get away from here, so she suggests John to run away together. However, he declares that he is not ready to leave his family for her yet. She notices that Carlos and Maria are waiting for her in front of the house. Frightened, she immediately turns away and leaves. But later she realizes that she has acted unworthily and begins to look for them. The scene goes back in time again. Mariana's mother, Gina, having no passion for her husband, continued to see her lover. Unable to bear her mother's betrayal, Mariana breaks the gas pipe in the trailer to get revenge on them. However, her goal was not to kill them. Presently, Mariana came to the hostel where they were staying to talk to her daughter. However, this time Mariana refuses to talk to her mother and says that they will leave town tomorrow. Mariana rents a room near them and begins to wait for the right moment. The next day, when she sees what Carlos finds on the street, she runs to their room. She apologizes to her daughter for once abandoning her. Maria tells him that her father Santiago was in a car accident and is now in the hospital in serious condition. Santiago's family learns that he is dating Mariana and demands that he end the relationship. But he doesn't listen to them. One day, Mariana's father finds out and in a rage he punches his daughter in the face. Mariana immediately calls Santiago and asks him to pick her up. Mariana is now in the hospital waiting for Santiago to regain consciousness. She recalls the day she lost her mother. When her mother and her lover were in the trailer, she set fire to a gas pipe. She expected that the fire would cause the couple to leave the house and she would be caught red-handed. However, things didn't go as planned, and before they could get out of the trailer, there was an explosion and they were killed. Mariana realizes what she has done and is left with nothing but regret. Since then, she has not let go of that tragic day, because she killed 2 people. In the present, the woman begs Santiago to wake up, saying that her daughter needs him. In the evening, she finds herself at Santiago's house and discovers that he has been keeping pictures of her all this time. The next day, the doctor informs them that Santiago is on the mend. Overjoyed, Mariana invites her mother to join them. Only at this point does Mariana feel that they are family and follows her daughter. This is where the movie ends. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and like the channel. See you soon.